Hi friend, I am Leigh Koechner. Welcome to day 17 of FYG GYG. Find your gift and give your gift. 33 days to a more joyful life. We'll start with a few grounding breaths so we can all kind of connect and push aside things that are on our mind, push aside what we're doing this weekend, what we're upset about yesterday, what we're worrying about for the future. We're going to push all of that aside because we know that it will be gently waiting for us, or not so gently. Give yourself this time to clear your mind and your plate and your space, to zone in and to honor yourself for this 10 or 20 minutes. Okay, with your hands in your lap, we're going to breathe in through our nose, out through our mouth, in through our nose, and out through our mouth, in through our nose, and out through our mouth. Thank you so much for joining me. Last night we had the guided meditation for the kids who purchased the second and third level. And when I finished the guided meditation, I realized I did not record it. And as I started to let my body start to spin, to beat myself up, to get mad, to go, gosh, that was so good, I can't believe it, I stopped. And I said, I guess it was meant for me to do it again. So it's so interesting how instantly we can save ourselves from suffering with just a pause, a reframe, and a new direction. And then that allows us to be gentle with ourselves and to embrace doing it again, as opposed to making it a big deal. So think about that today. When something doesn't go exactly how you plan, that it's all right. It's probably not meant to go the way you planned, because our brains are this big and big. All right, guys, so I'm excited about today because today is actually called Recover. Pause and recover. So I feel like we have been taking some pretty big bites, honing in on looking for, clearing muck, finding clues of our gifts and our purpose. And sometimes when you take a big bite and you're chewing it, and then another big bite comes up and you shove that in, and then all of a sudden you're so full you can't even take the next bite. So yesterday we just took no assignments. It was just about breathing and allowing our time to meditate and to feel our body. And today we're going to just take some of those bites and chew on them a little bit so we can digest them and that they can settle more and become a part of us. And I just wrote the note that resting is just as important as working out. Slowing down and taking care of ourselves is just as important, or even more important, than striving to do or to be more. Just resting, even saying the word resting, makes my body go, oh, like how desperately we all need rest. It's like the second I sit down in my hairdresser's chair and she touches my hair, I go, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, my tongue's out and I'm making an face, but I didn't know how tired I was until you touched my hair. And in me allowing to feel the sensation of touch, it brought me to how desperately I need to have that feeling more instead of going. So today we're going to allow ourselves to have our heads touched. We're going to allow ourselves to appreciate ourselves for the work that we have done. And I do want to acknowledge you guys halfway through this, a little more than halfway through. We are on day 17. And you guys have taken some big ass bites and committed to a beautiful process for yourself. So congratulations on that. If you don't already, make sure you have your journal handy. So when I'm ready to take a peek at it with you, it's around. And if you don't have it, I can wait a second till you go get it, or you can do this later, or just remember, or look back at this video. So I want to, if you have your journal, to go ahead and open it. Just open it to the first page. Open it to where it says the word intention. Because at the top of your journal, you wrote what your intention was, what you wanted from, what you wanted to get from these 33 days. So just take a moment to open your page and read what you wrote. 17 days ago, you have had a lot of bites of apples, a lot of chewing, a lot of self-discovery. Take a moment to look at that intention. Is there anything about it that you want to tweak? Is there anything about it that you want to add on to it, or you want to scribble out because you realized, oh, that's not really what I want to do. That's not really that important to me. It's more this. Take a moment right now to refresh that, to either scratch it out and write a whole new one if you feel it, to jot down a few words that you feel are missing. And then when we're done, you could go rework it a little bit. Just whatever you feel when you read that today, does that represent what you want by the end of these 33 days? Okay. I'm going to just go over a few things that we have learned so far, and then occasionally I'll stop at one, talk about it if I think of something new to share, but we have learned a lot. We have beautiful, bright lights temporarily housed in these earth suits. I like to do this because mine's getting like Play-Doh, and it's not really recovering like it used to back into shape. So we've learned that we're temporarily housed in these earth suits, and that life is only happening for us to learn, love, heal, and grow on. So everything is showing up for us to do the work that we are on the planet to do. So all that is good, bad, happy, sad, heartbreaking, magnificent, they are all equal. They're all important in our evolution. And that's such a cool perspective, because when you realize every event, everything, every heartache, every kick in the stomach, all of it is a part of the grand me of who I am evolving into. When you know that, when you really get that, you don't have to freak out as much or lay on the ground. You know it's just a part of your learning. And that when we hurt, we open. When we fall, we can rise stronger with more knowledge, and we never have to fall in that pothole again. So I'm getting to the point in my life where I'm actually embracing kick in the stomach. Oh, whew, got the wind knocked out of me. All right, let's see where it hurt in my body. All right, what is connected to that? When have I felt that pain in the past? And we can start using our life and our stories and our pictures of our past as guides to where we need to heal, where we need to grow, also as clues to what our purpose is. Because we have dropped breadcrumbs for ourselves that we can turn around and look at. Every single thing that's happened up to this moment, everything is a part of who you are today and what you can use to become. One of my favorite things is do what you know. I'll have to tell you, that takes 10 pounds off my shoulders. Do what you know. You don't have to reinvent yourself. You don't have to learn something new. You don't have to jump off a cliff, even though something close to that is good a little bit every day to get your heart pounding. But do what you know. So when I was like, oh God, I got this degree. What am I going to do? How am I going to go? I don't want to be a life coach. And all this like chatter in my head. I was like, what do I know? And I looked around. Oh, I have a bunch of kids. And I'm aware where I've done things wrong, or as my learning and healing and their learning and healing. So maybe I did it right and wrong. So even that reframe, I was a bad parent, or was I doing what I agreed to do with that soul before they got here to set them up for their growing and healing? If we were all perfect parents, we wouldn't need to be on this planet, right? Because we're only here to make mistakes. Sinning means missing the mark. That's all it means, is missing the mark. We are here to miss the mark so we can learn and grow. And then we can share with others so they don't have to fall as hard as we did. We looked at our childhood. We looked at what we loved to do, what came easy for us, some of the labels that we got as children. We just allowed ourselves to explore ourselves. We learned that gratitude is the gateway to abundance. It says that if you feel bad or you're stuck in a funk, do something for someone else. The moment you serve, you've already elevated yourself out of the energy level of funk. So serve someone. Do something kind. If you're hurting about something, reach out to somebody who you know who went through that already and say, hey, I was thinking about you. I'm here for you. That immediately pulls you out of your ego. That immediately pulls you out of your spinning, and it gets you closer to your heart. Little ourselves, because every answer we have is within us. Everything that we need, including all of the eggs, women, for your entire life you have at birth. How hilarious is that? Okay, so Self-care. I mean, the two most important things to pop up in my head is meditation and self-care. And self-care literally is because you are on this planet for you, for your learning, your growing, your healing, your bumping, your stepping forward. That's it. Your soul's evolution. Right now, there might be a lot of people intersecting on your path with you. Like, I got a ton of children on their own paths, but they're all circling all around mine right now. And within 18 years, they will all be walking ahead of me or behind me on their own paths. But right now, we're all crisscrossed. But I'm not going to ever step off my path. The moment I leave my path and go to my child's path or to my husband's path, I am showing them, lose yourself in other people. So we need to stand strong on our path, smile and love the people around us, but never get off your path, and you're moving forward in life. And the other thing, besides the self-care, we all heard that when the airplane, put the mask on yourself so you can breathe. That's just the basic elementary thing they tell you in a crisis situation. That's the most important information they give you. And that's one of the most important pieces of information I can give you. Care for yourself. You do not get a bigger award at the end of the day because you stayed at work longer and missed all the fun at home. You do not get a bigger award because you missed out on your children's lives. Nobody's going to give you a pin best mom because you're tired and you're pissed off and you've lost yourself and you're doing everything. You're not asking help from anyone. I did it all by myself. Well, good for you. How does that feel, right? Take care of yourselves. Make yourselves a priority. You are why you are here, okay? The other thing I said about meditation is, even if it's the 3 breaths every day, realizing you have the power to stop your mind. You are not your mind. You are not your skin. You are not the color of your eyes. You are not your sex. You are not anything of this. You are only the bright light covered temporarily with this. And the more we can connect to that, the more powerful we are and connected to God or the universe or whatever you want to call the energy, the creator. Another thing that I love is fearlessness. Well, we all have fear, right? Because that's the ego's biggest thing to hold us back is fear. We can all acknowledge, I have fear. 1 second. Fearlessness, pushing through the thoughts that cripple us. They are thoughts. They are not real. Yet we are paralyzed by them. It's like the placebo pill. You know, the doctors do studies where they give someone a pill, it's a sugar pill, and they say, or some kind of nothing pill, and they say, this is a new drug we have that's going to cure your incurable cancer. These are proven facts and case studies. The person takes the pill, their cancer goes away. Why? Because our brain tells our body what to do. So they said, the brain said, oh, I have healing things now. We are healed. And the people overcame illness that was supposed to kill them. The same thing happens with our crippling story. Right? We put them in. They're paralyzing us. And they're not real either. It's like a placebo pill can heal them. And our crippling thoughts that aren't real can crush our life, can make us think for any reason we can't do whatever the hell we want. So we need to think about crushing those sugar pills that are in our brain telling us that we're anything but perfect. Because remember that perfect is being imperfect and being human and making mistakes and occasionally cussing, drinking too much, eating too much, fighting with people. Because when we do those things, we can realize, gosh, that didn't feel good. I don't like that. And we can start learning from them. Really, we don't want to be perfect, right? So let's embrace our flaws. I like to say flawed and fabulous. But really realize that, oh my gosh, there's that irrational belief, that irrational thought that I'm not worthy to sit in front of a screen and talk. I'm going to do it anyway. Like I did with my workshop, I did it anyway when my thing was, my voice was saying, you're a fraud, you're no one, who do you think you are? And I was like, I can't breathe. And I thought, shit, I'm going to go out anyway. And I did, and that's gone forever. So anyway, just know that those are irrational beliefs that we are paralyzing ourselves from, when we can really literally pick it out and go and let it go. We don't have to hold that anymore. We don't have to let that be our story. Sometimes we get so attached to our stories. I could talk to someone, then 10 years later, how are you? Well, my mom was really mean when I was young and I was abused, and it's just going through it. I'm like, don't mean to be a dick, but weren't you going through that 10 years ago? Like, how long do you want to hold that story? I think it's paralyzed you long enough. We all got it. We all know that story. So now what? Flip it. How can I use being abused to heal, be stronger, and go out and serve with and help other people instead of swimming in the pool of, I'm not good enough because somebody was mean when I was little. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not meaning to discount our feelings and our experiences. I am meaning to discount our feelings and our experiences to say we don't have to suffer today over them. I love the word easy, grace and ease. We can make the choice that things can happen with grace and ease, right? So we don't start a new thing going, this is going to be hard. If you are, don't do it. Don't do it. Why do anything that's going to be hard? Why choose hard? Don't. Say, this feels like it might be challenging. Are challenging good for me? Does that mean I'm getting out of my comfort zone? Yes. Is my heart pounding? Am I alive? Yes. So I'm going to do things with grace and ease. And when the obstacles come or I get kicked in the stomach, I'm going to learn from them. I'm not going to fall from them. This is just showing up for us to learn. Let's use this place. Let's use this as our classroom and our playground, not as our cell or our jail because of a irrational thought in our brain. Move and take action. We all have brilliant ideas. The people who act on them, take action, move, get them. Before I was talking about 3-foot tosses, I like to call it cornhole. Little beanbag, just a cornhole toss. You don't even have to get it to the hole. Just move forward a little bit. And eventually you'll get the cornhole in the hole. We looked at kind of where our attention is in our current life. We saw all the look at it, look down at it, go, I don't need to do these things anymore. I'm not having fun with these. I want a lot of these to grow. And we took one of those I want to grow, and we kind of grew that a little bit. So those are fun to revisit, to get clues about your passion and your purpose, to be stepping stones. Cornhole toss, talked about it. Freeform writing, we just allowed stuff we're not even aware of. There's so many crippling thoughts that we're not even aware of because we use the same one all the time. Freeform writing, we just let it flow. And then we threw it away and burned it forever. We just let it out to make more room for love and abundance. And I love play. I love to be silly. And from play, we know flows into creativity, because if you picture a child lost in play, talking to themselves, building, all of a sudden they have made a whole castle. And we can make castles as an adult when we play. We can create the things that we want to when we play. And today, we're doing recover. Rest and recover. Bite, chew, chew, chew. Get it down so much that we can swallow it and let it become a part of our body. So all of the things, just looking back on all of the big things we crammed into this time, it feels like, but we've done it in such a way that you guys are honoring it and doing it, and I'm so proud of you. I want to tell you that tomorrow we are going to take some, back in the day, people did vision boards. We are going to visualize, and one way to do that is actually to get a little poster board to cut out things that excite you. It could be somebody's closet. It could be a new home. It could be your dream garden. It could be a beach house. It could be somebody speaking at a podium. It could be somebody doing a book signing, a doctor. I mean, whatever the heck it is that fills you. And when you think, if nobody was looking, what would I do? Who would I become? Hi, Charlie. Congratulations. What would I do for, if I could? And then clip out things from magazines, even if you have to steal them from the dentist office. Clip out, rip out pages from the hairdresser, wherever. Go to the newsstand and grab a couple magazines, like about architecture and a garden and a house. Whatever it is. Pull out some stuff, stick it in your journal. Tomorrow we're going to talk about it. we are going to start to do it, and then I want everyone tomorrow to take a photo and put it on so I can see what you guys created. We're going to start visualizing what we want, and then we're going to, next day after that, we're going to feel it in our bodies. All right, I love you guys, and I'm so excited to be doing this journey with you, and it's exciting. It's exciting that we can do whatever the heck we want to do, and I'm happy to be doing it with you. And I will see you, or no, I won't, because I'm going to pray first. I'm so happy to be doing it with you. My quote is, fill yourself up with so much love, it can bubble over onto those around you. Fill yourself up with so much self-care, a spiritual practice that supports you moving forward. I didn't even talk about spiritual practice. We exercise, we try and eat right, we try and do this, we try and do that. Yeah, we're overweight and we're all on anti-anxiety medicines. We're missing a part. We're missing here. We're missing moving from here to here. I actually believe when you have a spiritual practice, when you start to meditate, when you start to give more time to that, everything else falls in order. Your anxiety goes down, your blood pressure goes down, you start mindfully eating, not senselessly eating. You start mindfully drinking and not just trying to numb yourself and escape. It's like everything falls into order when you connect to here. So I encourage a spiritual practice so huge, so you can bubble over onto those around you, bubble out in love. Dear God, thank you for this 33 days. Thank you for the people here who are teaching me and learning with me. Thank you for the tools we have available to us and now in our awareness that we can use and we can look back on and we can write about and we can practice. God, let us make time for ourselves. Let us make time to connect with you, and let us do us. Let us see ourselves and do us. Amen. Thank you, guys. I will see you tomorrow for some vision boarding. We're going to start seeing our future. Okay. Bye, guys.